I developed an interest in reincarnation when I realized the recurring dreams I was having were signs of a past life. One dream in particular started when I was quite young. It came in bits and pieces, more like flashes during my waking hours, and felt like a distant memory. As a child, I didn't know what to make of this dream, and I never told anyone about it until I was around 10 years old. My dad had heard me talking in my sleep a few nights, which were the nights I had this dream. I usually woke up shaking and confused, but on this day, I woke up screaming. Upon hearing the scream, my dad, who usually woke up early to read and have his quiet time, came running into our bedroom. He sat me up asking what it was in our dialect. At first, I was skeptical about sharing this little secret I had kept for a few years because I wasn't sure how my parents would react, saying I had been labeled the black sheep from when I could talk. But his insistence got me talking. I told him how I was a 6-year-old little girl standing by the roadside with adults who seemed like my parents in the dream. Where we were standing looked familiar in the dream, but not sure where it was in reality. While my parents were conversing with the other adults around, I wandered a few feet from them and was crushed by a trailer. Somehow, I was now standing next to the crowd as I watched them walk to gather my remains into a small wooden casket. My dad then asked how long I had been having this dream. I told him it's been a few years. I guess after discussing it with my mom, pastors, and other church members, they concluded that I was possessed. At the time, I had bought a small storybook titled Dreams Come True. The front cover had a picture of a woman wearing a red evening dress. She had long wavy hair, red lipstick, and long nails painted red. Seeing that book beside my pillow made matters worse. His expression, which was that of confusion, stopped me from mentioning the other dreams, which were the reason I bought the book, thinking it would help me understand these dreams better. I can't remember what the story was about, but it sure didn't help. And I also wasn't sure why I woke up screaming. As I got older, these distant memories became even more intense. Although I tried not to think about them, they kept coming. A few years ago, I decided to learn more about recurring dreams. I had heard of reincarnation, but it wasn't a topic I paid any attention to, even though I had been told by a few family members when I was quite young that my great-grandma reincarnated. Researching this topic opened my eyes to a side of life I believe was intentionally concealed by the religious leaders for reasons best known to the founders of various religions. The stories that have stood out to me so far are those recounted by the baby boomer generation. They were the people born after the World War II, which is between 1946 and 1964 during the 20th century. Now, not all of those people were able to connect to a past life memory, but for the few that did, and all of the people who continue to connect the dots to a past life, their stories are amazing. Mostly sad, but amazing. One of the interesting things I have learned about reincarnation is that people reincarnate in groups and mostly come back to the same location, except for those whose lives ended without ties to a group of people or to a certain location. That's to say, those who are not indebted to others in some way or form. Driving through this local government area, it looks unsettled as a result of the ongoing crisis some communities in this local government area are having with the neighboring communities in Abia State. The people's struggle for land, as we see everywhere, has made this part of the state stay behind when it comes to benefiting from the development going on in the state. These communal clashes have continued because the leaders have yet to take action to combat these attacks, just like we see with insecurities all over the country. From a post made by a local on Facebook, the National Boundary Commission (NBC) visited these communities, promising to facilitate the demarcation of the boundaries, which seems to be the major cause of this crisis, but nothing has been done. Issues like this are treated like it's normal and should be expected because people are yet to understand this journey we call life. We think that when a person passes on, that's the end. However, my experience and that of others with past life memories have taught me that we are the future generation coming back to live in the world we created. There is no escape. Whether we choose to impact our world positively or negatively, we are sowing seeds which will germinate, take root, and continue to grow till the harvest is ripe. The interesting part is, when we reincarnate, chances are we will be back to the same places we took part in destroying. This brings to mind something I read many years ago, and I would like to share it with you. A quote from a book titled A Woman of Substance by Barbara Taylor Bradford. We are each the authors of our own lives. We live in what we have created. There is no way to shift the blame, and no one else to accept the accolades. End of quote. There is more to this life than we fail to comprehend. There is an outcome to every choice we make in this life. The end of a life here is the beginning of a new journey, and it goes on and on until a person has attained the highest level of enlightenment, which is the purpose of life. Every life is precious. Every journey is important. When the leaders and the people begin to understand this, then the struggle for wealth, power, and control over lands and resources becomes of less interest to most. Thank you for watching. If you would like to support my channel, I have a link in the description. You can click to buy me a cup of coffee or more if you prefer. I'm Kemdy Mbago, and this is Life with Kemdy, sharing life's experiences, adventures, and everything in between. Till I see you at the next one, stay safe, stay blessed. Much love from me. Bye.